So today we replace this cruddy door that doesn't want to slide with a new sliding glass door. So I'm going to guide you through all the steps on how to replace it. It's not a boat. It's not anything else. It's not 3D modeling. It's a door. So let's get to it. So I already started doing this sliding glass door, and you can see like this door is like, I don't know, it's like all rusting inside there and things have fallen down. But one of the biggest problems is, well, it's not clean now. So I started already pulling the start. I had to measure the door and pull all the trim and measure the frame. So I had to, anyway. So you can see from this door right here on the inside, it was like kind of like all rusting and dropping down. It wasn't sealing well. It's cloudy. It's dirty. And the worst part, it didn't want to slide. So now we're replacing this door with a new one. So I had to actually pull the trim off on the inside. And the people before decided to do their cabinets right up to the corner bead, top and bottom. So that made that easy. But anyway, so yeah, it's just a standard 72-inch sliding glass door. I'm going to go to Lowe's, not Home Depot, because Home Depot decided to triple charge me for something and not honor their triple charge. And we're going to get a new door. So I had to pull the trim all the way off and measure inside, and I'm getting like 71 3/4. So a standard door, 70-inch door should fit in here, no problem. The previous owners actually, whenever they did this, did nice and tight. So I don't know if it's going to be an issue or not. Going to put the new one in, hopefully not. And we'll come around and take a look at the outside here, because I have to remove the siding in order to do this. So I started already pulling some of the siding apart right here using, where'd it go? This side swiper 2. So the side swiper 2 allows you to go up under that flange, pull it down, pop it out. So I'm going to do that over here and this. These pieces that are connected with the outlets and stuff, I'm going to try to leave them up and just work around it. I just have to get access to the nailing flange, so I should be able to do that. So now you can watch me monkey around with some siding. I didn't really feel like doing this morning, but it's got to get done. Delete that. All right, other side. It's getting wrapped. Anyway. See, they nailed the Jesus out of this thing. The Jesus. I'll just get most of them out. So I can come back and man, they put freaking more nails in this thing. I'll tell you right now, whoever put this one in. At this point, my buddy Jeremy came over to give me a hand getting this door out and to get the new door in. So we removed the screen door and the panels to make it a little bit easier to remove. This was a little annoying, but it eventually did come out. We kind of had to lift, pull, and prod to get it. But once we got it, it came right on out. And now it was just a matter of getting the rest of the frame out. There was one screw in there that was kind of hidden over where the lock was. So we're kind of pointing out there. And once we broke that, that's it. That frame came right on out. Now with the frame out, we could do just double check some measurements with the rough opening for width and height. I forget exactly what it was for the slider that I had, but it was written on the box. It was basically like 2 inches, I think, over, or 1.5 inches over, whatever the door size was supposed to be. And everything checked out as I figured it would, but it's always good to double check just in case, because when you have a gaping hole in your house, you just like to close it up. So we're just giving it a quick sweep through, make sure that when we set the door with the silicone that we get a nice seal. And now we are weatherproofing all the studs and the header around the actual door with this Protecto wrap. So I guess it's some butylene or something like that, some water resistant material that you can wrap the studs with, so that if there's any sort of water intrusion, you don't get any rot. These here were super clean. Whoever did the install on the store did a pretty good job, and I don't think this material was available at the time when they did it, but now we're doing it here. Also for debate is whether or not we actually had, or I actually had to take all the siding off. Some people say you could just cut that nailing flange off on the door. Others say everything's got to come off. I took everything off. I had the time, and it allows you to do all this wrapping like this to make everything a little bit extra sealed. Here's our final piece going up on top, and after this, everything is all sealed up with the Protecto wrap. So this is a Pella 150 series sliding glass door. I got it from Lowe's. I think it was around like $498 or in that ballpark. Relatively clean store. It's vinyl. It's insulated glass. It's basically a bottom line door, but why not? Just need to get a door in. Before we set the door in, I did put a nice layer of silicone down so the door is set, and now we're just leveling up the one side, which is good. I have some shims in there, trying to get it as level as possible, and once we get that, we nail off one of the corners. You can use nails or screws on this. We actually ultimately do switch to screws. It was a little bit on the one side. We had a little bit more, too big of a gap, so the nailing flange it didn't go, but eventually we got it. And then coming over to the left-hand side, same thing. We check that for level to make sure that it's good to go and get it screwed off as well. And eventually we continue all the way around with the screws. We do check the bottom with the straight edge at one point as well, and test the door, see if it slides open and close. We give it a slight adjustment with the wheels. We also check to see how parallel it is to the fixed door. Sometimes you can see if they're a little bit off, that either rollers need to be adjusted or there's something off the door. Once we know that's good, there's a lot of screw holes. So you basically put a screw in every one of these holes, and this thing holds. It is not going anywhere. Now, if you do cut the nailing fin off, you can go in through the jambs. A disadvantage of that, I feel, is that you're not getting the security that you are with this, and you're not getting the weather tightness as you are with the nailing flange. Or nailing fin, sorry. So I guess it's up to you, whatever way you want to do. Go. But now we're back to the Protecto wrap covering up the nailing fin. So this thing is super tight, weather tight. I like this install versus just using a nailing fin. But anyway, Protecto wrap going on. We do the same thing, go up and around the three sides. I did run out of the Protecto wrap, and I have the other version of the butylene that's got this aluminum foil, or this
basically aluminum foil or foil covering on the outside. I don't know if there's an advantage to that, one or the other. This is what Lowe's had, and I had it. The protector wrap I had from another point in time. I don't know which one's better, but they both do basically the same exact thing. And now installing the J channel around the door. The old J channel was the wrong size and was pretty banged up and beat up from whoever lived in the house before me. So new J channel going up and around the door for a nice clean install with that as well. Eventually I do have to cut the top piece of siding. The opening was a little bit different, so I'm doing that with a pair of snips right here. And just moving across, getting that cut, and then pushing it into the J channel. Now with all the J channel installed around the door, it's just a matter of using the side swiper and getting the old brittle vinyl siding back together again. A little bit of a tedious process. You're, kind of working to meet back at the point where everything lines back up or fits together with each other. So I've seen at times where if you do not install the vinyl siding correctly, it does not meet up with that top row or the sections above you. So you kind of have to make sure that everything is where it was before. If you're doing this on a house and it has like insulation on the outside, you can see the existing or the previous nail holes from where the siding was. And as long as you're in the ballpark with them, it's fine. And you see here, the sided swiper, getting that last piece nice in and tight, and eventually Jeremy pulling it on over and in. Now we go to the inside where I take the extended foam and fill up any of the voids going on around. Trim is next. This is kind of like a little bit of a sidebar thing. My countertops extended out on the one side into the doorway for the most part. When they put these cabinets in, they did it right up and got the most use out of the cabinet space as possible. So I'm cutting this down. I'm debating two things. One, to do an epoxy coating over this, so any mistakes I do with this are going to be covered up. Or I'm going to be replacing the countertop at some point in time. So I just didn't like the way it was. It'll be cleaned up. Here now, just going through, cleaning up the surface around the door, removing any nails before I start putting in the extension jambs. Measuring up for the extension jambs, I think I got like about 1 5/8 or 1 3/4 going all the way around. It was relatively close, and just went out, ripped them on the table saw, and now installing them here, starting with the top and then working on the two sides afterwards. I also did remove the little transition piece at the base of the door before I put the two side ones in, so I can bring them directly to the ground, and I eventually did nail that back in as well after the step. But just using the rigid 16 gauge gun here to get these in. And it does a pretty good job of it, and it's pretty secure. For my first piece of molding or trim, I had to notch out to get around the radiator. That's how the existing one was before I took it off. So I'm just doing the same thing here again. It's still pretty clean install, and just using the 16 gauge gun to put that up once it's ready. Now I did not have a left-hand side one, otherwise I would have. Remember, my countertops and cabinets came directly up to the extension jambs, so I just moved on to the top next, marked my 45, and got it up using the 16 gauge. That's all I need. Normally I would use like 18 gauge brad nail towards the edge where it meets the extension jamb, but this is not going anywhere since there's a header right up there. And here we're just taking a quick peek around at the trim where it meets the radiator cover and everything else. That is it. That is all the trim around the door.
All right, so that's the install start to finish of a Pella 150 sliding glass door or vinyl sliding glass door from Lowe's. It's so far been good. It's been up for a few weeks. It, opens, closes. Pretty nice. I'm kind of happy with it. I do wish they sold a screen door for it. They do not sell a screen door for it. You have to buy either an off-brand or some kind of adjustable one or some kit and make your own. I am looking at retractable screens possibly or something. I would like a screen door. That's my only complaint with it. Otherwise, pretty clean. I'll be doing some caulking here and there and painting up the trim. That's like kind of the things that I need to do to finish this up. But otherwise, please like and subscribe. If you want to see me install, work on, or do anything else, let me know. Next video up will probably be going back to the boat, or who knows what other project's going to be coming up. All right, everyone. Have a great night. Take care. Bye.